Tonight, a public health emergency.
And so this is significant, it's concerning, and it requires a coordinated action.
What's driving a spike in Manitoba's HIV rates, and what can be done to turn things around? Also tonight, more space and more meals.
Now it's the working poor, and now we're seeing, unfortunately, a lot more seniors come to our door.
How some Winnipeg nonprofits are working to meet the rising tide of food insecurity. Plus, fishing for scrap.
And it's really sad, and something needs to be done about it.
How one group is making Winnipeg's rivers a little cleaner, one car at a time.
CTV News. Live from downtown Winnipeg with Taylor Brock.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Hendricks. Manitoba has declared a public health emergency over HIV. Dr. Brent Rusin presented some grim numbers today showing this province has 3.5 times the national rate of HIV cases. And as CTV's Jeff Keel shows you, he says it will require a coordinated effort to reduce the spread.
Manitoba's top public health official is warning about a significant rise in HIV cases.
Manitoba continues to experience some of the highest rates of HIV in Canada.
Dr. Brent Rusin, the chief provincial public health officer, says Manitoba is declaring a public health emergency to tackle the spread of the virus. New numbers show in 2025, 328 new cases of HIV were reported, a big jump from 2019 that saw 90. And in 2024, Manitoba had 3.5 times the national rate of HIV cases.
And so this is significant, it's concerning, and it requires a coordinated action across governments, communities, and health systems.
Rates are highest in northern and southwestern Manitoba. The largest number of cases are diagnosed in Winnipeg. The province says Indigenous people are disproportionately impacted, and more than 50% of cases are women, much higher than the national average. The emergency is driven by a number of factors, including injection drug use, homelessness, mental health issues, and limited access to care.
I see them every day here, so there is a kind of a medical issue going around here.
Kenneth Garriock lives in Winnipeg's core area and has friends living with HIV. He says the drug problem is only getting worse.
I'm helping people out here and that are ODing out here, and I Narcan them, so I did 4 people already.
The province says it has moved 223 people from tents to housing with supports or treatment, and reminds people it is trying to set up a supervised drug consumption site.
A safe place to consume their intravenous drugs, but it would also provide a health-led model, so people would have access to primary health care.
Jeff Keel, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Dr. Rusin says they're working with Indigenous leaders, community groups, and federal agencies to address the conditions leading to the spike in cases. Well, there's soon going to be a major disruption for swimmers in Winnipeg. The city plans to close the Panama Pool's main tank for a full year so it can undertake a multi-million-dollar rehabilitation of the facility. According to a request for proposals posted by the city, contractors will be working on the Panama Pool's main tank, including diving platforms and the deck area. It'll be closed to the public for the duration of the project. The RFP says the east training tank, locker rooms, and concourse level spaces will remain open to select users during construction. The pool will be closed starting January 18th, 2027, and the plan is for it to open roughly 1 year later. The city has $4.7 million available for the project. Bids are due by Monday, June 1st. New details tonight in that crash between a cyclist and a truck in the Transcona area on Wednesday morning. It happened around 5:30 on Dugald Road near Murdoch Road. Police say the driver of the truck has been identified as a 27-year-old woman who was driving with a suspended license at the time. The cyclist, a 23-year-old man, remains in hospital in critical but stable condition. The investigation is still ongoing, and anyone with information or dash cam footage is being asked to contact the traffic unit or Crime Stoppers. We're also learning more about a multi-vehicle crash yesterday that sent 3 people to hospital. It happened at the corner of Inkster Boulevard and Arlington Street. The Independent Investigation Unit says it's taken over the investigation as that large orange truck had been stolen and was involved in an earlier police chase. The IIU says the driver didn't suffer any apparent injuries and is currently in custody. However, 3 other people were hurt, including one who received serious injuries. The IIU is asking anyone with information or video footage to come forward. Well-known PC MLA Jeff Worden has decided not to run in the next election. Worden was first elected to the ledge in 2016 in the campaign that swept Brian Pallister and the PCs to power. He was re-elected in 2019 and then again in 2023. During his time in government, he held several cabinet portfolios, including municipal relations, economic development, and environment minister. However, Jeff Worden's time in office was not without controversy. Manitoba's ethics commissioner found Worden, former Premier Heather Stevenson, and former Deputy Premier Cliff Cullen tried to push through a controversial silica sand mining project after the Tories lost the 2023 election, but before the new NDP government was sworn in. He was fined $10,000. The PCs say they will hold a nomination meeting for a new candidate in Red River North in due course. Another candidate is throwing their hat into the ring to be Winnipeg's next mayor. Funeral director Mike Wojciak is officially registered as a candidate in the upcoming mayoral election. Wojciak has made the announcement on social media, saying his campaign will focus on a wide range of issues, including public safety, transit, and affordability. He joins 2 other previously registered candidates, grocery clerk Christopher Classio, who ran in 2022, and Mayor Scott Gillingham, who is seeking re-election. An update in the ongoing land dispute between a Central Winnipeg curling club and the city. The city confirms it will be ending its lease with the Granite Curling Club in July. A spokesperson says the terms of a new lease have not yet been finalized, and if nothing changes before then, it'll put an interim agreement in place that ensures the club can continue occupying the site, but without the parking lot. Now, that parking lot is at the center of the dispute. The city is moving ahead with an affordable housing project there, while the club says its future is in jeopardy without access to parking. The curling club is also taking the city to court, asking a judge to order the city to abide by a municipal board ruling which said the two have to agree on a new parking plan before the housing project can go ahead. The Granite Curling Club declined to comment as the matter is before the courts. Well, instead of fish, a nonprofit group is hitting Red River to pull out something a little different.
We see everything from vehicles to shopping carts to barber's chairs. You name it, we've seen it.
Red River Revival was extracting a vehicle today from the riverbed in the Netley Creek area. It was spotted beneath the ice over the winter. Before proceeding, the nonprofit group meets with wildlife biologists and others to ensure the retrieval won't affect the environment. A diver later hooks the frame up to inflatable bags, and it's floated to the surface and over to the bank. The goal of the group's cleanup efforts is to remove environmental and nautical hazards from the Red and Assiniboine rivers and their tributaries. It's been 46 years in the making, but now, for the first time, Agape Table has a standalone space, and it hopes that will bolster their efforts to feed vulnerable Winnipeggers. And as CTV's Joseph Bernacki shows you, they're not the only organization stepping up and making plans.
For the first time ever, Agape Table finally has a space to call their own.
Really, it's a place that we can finally call home.
After breaking ground on a new building in October 2024, the nonprofit will move 2 doors down on Furby Street, out of the Wave Church's basement, where they operated for 8 years. During that time, they served hundreds of thousands of meals to vulnerable Winnipeggers as food insecurity continues to rise.
Our numbers are staggering. Like in 2019, we were at 85,000 meals for the year. Last year, we were up to 188,000.
The state-of-the-art facility offers more kitchen space, storage, and refrigeration. On top of that, Agape Table will now be open 7 days a week and serve sit-down meals in the space. That's the first time they've been able to since March 2020.
We're going to get back to that. It's really unfortunate for that many years that we had to serve lunch at the door, but bringing them back inside it's a sense of community.
And they are not the only ones feeding the community. At Chalmers Neighborhood Renewal Corporation, every Thursday they give away donated food to 300 people on average. Since they launched the program last fall, people wait for hours to bring home groceries.
The cost of fresh produce, fruits and vegetables, astronomical. So when they can get it for free and it will help them get through a week or to their next paycheck, that is gratifying.
Villarba says the organization also plans to convert this former Elmwood ice cream shop on Ottawa Avenue into a low-cost grocery store mixed with transitional housing. They hope to open the grocery store later this summer. Joseph Bernacki, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Time now for our first check on the weather. And look at that. We are above zero, 4 degrees. The barometer is falling. Humidity is at 47%. Now overnight, it is going to get cooler all the way down to 0 with increasing cloud. And your wake-up weather, 4 degrees and mainly cloudy.
You look like $1 million. This looks fantastic.
Dressed for success. How a local organization is helping students look their best this grad season. A retail chain founded in Winnipeg is seeking a Manitoba court's approval to liquidate its stores. Warehouse One has started proceedings which would allow the denim retailer to begin shutting down. On Wednesday, Manitoba's Court of King's Bench granted an initial order which prevents its creditors from seeking repayment. According to a pre-filing report, the denim retailer has suffered financial losses due to increased competition from online retail, fast fashion, operational challenges, and poor sales performance. Now it's insolvent and unable to pay its rent and payroll costs. The company is planning on returning to court in the coming days to seek a further order to approve the liquidation of its stores. The company currently operates 128 retail stores nationally under its Warehouse One and Bootlegger banners. An infestation of ants has once again hit a hospital in southern Manitoba, forcing surgeries to be canceled. The Southern Health Authority says 16 elective procedures need to be rescheduled at the hospital in the town of Carman, southwest of Winnipeg. The authority, which oversees health care at the Carman Memorial Hospital, says some of the surgeries include hernia repairs and gallbladder removals. They were canceled for safety and hygiene reasons, and the work is being shifted to another facility while an exterminator works to get rid of the hospital rid the hospital of the pests. This isn't the first time the hospital has struggled with an ant problem. Ants were spotted in August of 2024, but they died off within a few weeks. High school graduation is right around the corner, and buying or renting a formal wear is out of reach for some students. That's why a Winnipeg organization is helping grade 12 students dress for success. CTV's Daniel Homerson explains.
Like $1 million. This looks fantastic.
These grade 12 students are graduating in a little over a month, and they have plenty of things to worry about, like exams and post-grad plans. But finding something to wear to grad won't be a problem. That's because Suitup Winnipeg is providing them with suits, shirts, ties, and shoes free of charge.
Anyone who's graduated or has had a son or a daughter or a niece or a nephew, anybody who's graduated and crossed that stage knows that grad is an expensive time.
For the past 11 years, Suitup volunteers have been collecting gently used formal wear and helping grads to look their best so they won't miss out on their big day.
This program allows students who have financial obstacles to be able to participate in a really big event in their life.
They had that huge smile on their face. Some parents were telling us, oh, this is the first time somebody's wearing a suit.
Suitup founder Dana Binder says the program isn't just about graduation, though. It's a way to help set up students for future success.
The nice thing is most of them come here and say, okay, when do I have to return it? And we say, you don't. You get to wear it to job interviews or any other festivities where you need to be a little bit more fancy.
Binder says getting fitted for a suit can be a transformative experience.
You see them get a little bit taller. You see the smiles come out a little bit. Their eyes are open wide, and that's what this is all about.
Teachers and guidance counselors say the results speak for themselves.
This is helping so much with their mental health, and it makes all the families really happy.
The self-confidence, the pride that they were feeling in themselves when they looked into a mirror.
Grad is a milestone. Grad is a rite of passage, and grad should be inclusive.
Daniel Homerson, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Suitup Winnipeg always has room for more formal wear, and the organization's looking for cash donations too, so they can help keep things running. You can email them at suitupwinnipeg@gmail.com.
I like it, yeah, it's cool.
Celebrating an iconic Canadian landmark, the special feature our Mint has included on the coin. And we'll have your complete Skywatch forecast when we return. Welcome back. Our first weather picture this evening really shows off the sun in the sky and the overall beauty of the Hecla Grindstone Provincial Park. That picture was sent in by Cheryl. And I love this next picture from Jody. It was taken at Winnipeg Beach, and wow, the sky looks orange or perhaps a warm beige. In any event, it looks great. You can send us your pictures to winnipegweather@ctv.ca. Our weather is starting to look a lot better too. After suffering through below seasonal temperatures, the heat is starting to come back here in the city. Sadly, the same cannot be said for parts of the north. As we go to the satellite map, you can see that there is that large low pressure system, and it remains parked over Hudson Bay. It's going to keep shooting light snow and flurries back into northern Manitoba over the next few days. Now, as we get into Friday, though, the system will actually begin to push a little further south. Now, there's also a smaller system that you can see over in Saskatchewan. It's going to pass through that province and then sweep across the border into the U.S. Now, people who live close to the line in the southwest, they may get a shower or two, but there really shouldn't be all that much to it. Now, by Saturday, though, that low up north is really going to be felt in central Manitoba. The good news, though, is that the warmer temperatures will shift its precipitation from snow into rain showers. Thankfully, it will not reach us here in Winnipeg. Instead, we're expecting clear skies and double-digit temperatures throughout the weekend. And speaking of temperatures, let's take a look at the current temperatures across the province. The CN Tower has been glowing on the Toronto skyline for 5 decades. And to celebrate its anniversary milestone, there's a new coin in circulation with some special features.
I like it, yeah, it's cool.
Daniel McLeod was one of several people to get their hands on the new CN Tower 50th anniversary circulation coin during an exchange today. And he won't have any trouble finding it at night. The glow-in-the-dark coin is just the second of its kind from the Royal Canadian Mint. It prominently displays the CN Tower in the Toronto skyline, past, present, and aglow at night, along with silhouettes etched on the outer ring.
Oh, it's beautiful. I think it's really nice. It's a nice keepsake. I'm accumulating these coins here for my grandchildren. And there's one in the oven for November, so I had to get a coin for that one too.
You can get one of your own coins from now through Saturday at the Royal Canadian Mint Boutique while supplies last. The CN Tower is the tallest freestanding structure in the Western Hemisphere. It officially opened on June 26, 1976.
They created a bond, I think, built on mischief and candy.
Finding a new friend in an unlikely location. How challenging times for 2 kids led to a positive ending. A Hollywood actress has co-created a comic book series set in Winnipeg.
There's something about Winnipeg that is charming and weird. There's like a weirdness to the city that I adore. And when you start digging into it, that weirdness extends into the past.
Kristen Kruk, best known for playing Lana Lang in Smallville, has dreamed up a 5-issue comic book series called Black Star. It's set in the early 1800s, with the beginnings of the Red River settlement posing as the story's backdrop. But the events that take place also have a fantastical edge.
The foreground is about the beginning of this magical group that end up having an outsized impact on Winnipeg itself and on each other, and it's about the battle to take down a bad guy, essentially.
Kruk said the idea for the tale was dreamt up while shooting the TV series Burden of Proof here in town. She teamed up with her co-star Peter Mooney, who's from here, and writer Eric Putzer to develop the story. Here you can see some of the work-in-progress images. One of them includes an illustration of the Manitoba Legislative Building, which Kruk describes as a key building in the comic book's lore. The first issue comes out on July 29th. Well, it's hard to imagine too many positive things coming out of a cancer diagnosis, especially when the patient is a child. But sometimes, even in the darkest of times, an unexpected ray of light shines through.
You can run down it. Abby, watch out.
Every pair of friends has a story about how they met. Quentin and Abby are no different, although the way they met is pretty different. It wasn't at school or here at the park. They met in the Children's Oncology Ward at Health Sciences Center.
Quentin was diagnosed with stage 3 Burkitt lymphoma. So it's a fairly rare form of cancer. Very fast growing, very aggressive.
And very strangely, he wasn't the only kid being treated for this type of lymphoma at the hospital. So was Abby, who was diagnosed just a few days after Quentin.
She definitely had a hard time with being away from her friends, and she's a really social kid.
Both missed their families and friends, and to the kids, the doctors weren't much fun.
Doctors are boring.
Then the two kids, battling the same rare cancer and with nearly identical treatment plans, found each other and became fast friends.
We watched funny videos on his computer, and it was just funny.
They created a bond, I think, built on mischief and candy. A lot of it. It was pretty good.
A friendship that continues to this day, even though they're now out of the hospital. And soon they'll have another activity to do together. They're co-captains of a Challenge for Life team. Challenge for Life is an annual fundraising event run by the Cancer Care Manitoba Foundation. People come out to Assiniboine Park for either a 5 or 20-kilometer walk or a full morning of movement with 200 minutes of exercise.
They realize the need to give back and help people have as good of an experience as they did during their cancer journey.
And while not everyone will make a close friend like they did, they want to make sure that everyone's cancer journey is as positive as possible. Challenge for Life is on Saturday, June 13th. For details, go to the Cancer Care Manitoba Foundation website. It's a pilgrimage no true fan wants to miss. Why Sherlock Holmes fans made the long trek out to these falls in Switzerland. And we'll have your 7-day Skywatch forecast next.
Women's clothing provided by RW & Company. Salon services provided by S&T Spa Salon.
We're going to be getting quite a bit of sun over the next few days, especially on Mother's Day, where we will get all the way up to +11. Well, you might have thought that you stepped back in time if you visited the Reichenbach Falls in Switzerland this week. That's because enthusiasts were there to reenact one of the most famous moments in literary detective fiction. It was this moment in an 1893 Sherlock Holmes story that shocked Victorian readers and briefly appeared to end one of literature's most famous detectives. At these falls, Holmes and his enemy, Professor Moriarty, struggle beside a cliff edge before plunging into the waterfall below. Now, more than 130 years later, enthusiasts of the series dress in Victorian capes, tweed suits, and deerstalker hats to recreate the scene. Looked like it was a lot of fun. And that is going to do it for us. For another look at tonight's stories, visit us online at ctvnewswinnipeg.ca. Thanks so much for watching, and good night.